Hey guys, you may recall a few weeks ago I picked up a Tektronix 2465B oscilloscope, and I took a gamble on one off of eBay that was listed as not working for parts only, and it had option 5, which is why I really wanted it, because that's an option for working with NTSC video signals. Well, good news and bad news with that scope is that I got it working easily enough, but the option was missing when I opened it up. And it was very confusing because there was no evidence that it had ever been installed. There should be an extender card for the option board to plug into and some extra cables and whatever. So I was a little disappointed. I mean, I got a very fair price. It works. Very happy with that regard. But I didn't have the option I wanted. So I weighed my options, and no pun intended, on taking a gamble with buying the option board and extender board and cables off of eBay, and plugging them in and hoping they would work. But that got very confusing very fast, because it turns out there are multiple versions of the main board, which is what the option board sort of plugs into. And apparently that scope I showed in that video was the latest revision, the last revision of the main board, and the option buffer board is built into it. And the only extender option buffer board I saw for sale was for an A version, and apparently it's not compatible with this. But even if it was, I think you might need to have a ROM. Like, I don't think this is like having a PC and you can just pop cards into it, like a new video card, a sound card, whatever. I think it kind of needs to be built at the factory. So I decided to take a chance on another 2465B with TV option, and it just arrived. Now this one was listed as working, and it was calibrated last in 2002. And, well, it arrived, and it works. The seller did a real nice job packing it. He even took some foam blocks and he made holes where the knobs go, so it was all very nicely protected. And here we go. Now, I haven't looked inside of it yet. That's my main reason I want to make this video. Well, two reasons. One, to explore what does that option board actually do for me, and two, what does it look like inside? What differences are there? Pardon my messy workbench. I'm in the middle of wrapping up another project, and I don't want to clear it off, but I'm really interested in seeing what's inside. So I cleared off just enough space to get at it. There we go. An excellent cosmetic condition. Not a ding on this. The other one had a little dent in one of the corners. So all the business stuff is underneath this cover. We need to take off. So I want to see a few things. One, if I'm really lucky, somebody's already gone through and replaced that Dallas chip with an FRAM or similar solution. Oh wait, actually, or do I just need to flip this thing over? Hang on. No, I gotta take it off. But I can see the main board from the side here. You'll see it in a moment. Nah, it's still got the Dallas chip. Surface mount stuff. So I think this is also the later revision, or if not the last revision. So I got one more screw on the side. Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah, it comes off with the back cover. One more screw to take off. So there's a bunch of screws on the top, but there's one on the side. I also want to take a look, see if it has any recapped power supply. Seems unlikely. This seems rather pristine. Also, I gotta say, I haven't been looking for 2465s specifically for very long, but there sure are a lot of them popping up on eBay. So, there's one more in the back. So if you guys are interested in getting one after seeing these videos, I don't think you'll have any trouble. For one that's used as is, unknown condition, price seems to range between $200 and $300. For one that's been completely gone over, serviced and refurbished, maybe $800. Otherwise, kind of in between, like this one was, where it's working, but no guarantees of anything and no returns accepted. So take your chances. So, okay, yeah. So, all this stuff is missing from the other one. It's not like you can just simply pop a card in. So, alright, let me put this on the side for a sec. Here's that main processor board. So on my other one, this cable's going to nothing. Alright, and possibly this cable as well. I gotta take a look at it. There's the surface mount caps that everybody's been telling me to check out. I assume you mean these guys here. So they look to be okay. Might be a little bit of something around this guy. Yeah, I think maybe it is leaking a little bit. So yeah, I'll take care of those. But get back to looking at this side. Yeah, I had this the option board. So that'd be this cable going over here. That's not. Oh, I see where it is. Okay, this isn't going to anything. The option board, I believe, is this guy, or is it this guy? Boy, I'm confused. I gotta go back and look at my reference photos I took. Huh. Yeah, I'm confused. Well, it certainly doesn't have the option buffer board, which is this thing that kind of curves out. It's sort of like L-shaped. Unless, is it missing from this one too? And is that where this cable would go? And man, all right, I'll be back. I got to take a look at my my reference photos. All right, just happen to have them still on my phone. So okay, that's what's throwing me off. Is this board looks a bit different. So yeah, this is power supply, but on the other one I have, it has a bunch of green caps up here, and cables twisted around a little bit differently. So I do believe this is the option board, this guy in here, and it's only partially populated. There's a lot of empty stuff on it. And I'm not taking it out because it looks like it's rather involved to get it out. It's not a card that slides down in. It's screwed into the side. It's screwed down below. So there's ribbon cables going from here over to here. My guess would be this would be forget another option. So one other option is GPIB, which I think would fit in right here, which obviously I don't have. Now on the back, this said it also has option 22 stamped on it. So that just means it comes with extra probes. I didn't get any probes with this, so that's just not even a something to consider. Just trying to look to see what other photos I have. Might show this area better. So yeah, there's that empty blue cable on my other one. So yeah, this has got to be the option board right here. Just trying to read stuff on it to make sure somebody didn't change it out. 671-340-05. Now there are a few different manuals about this option board too, and I did find the one for the B version, which is different from the A version or the base version. You gotta get the B version. Just the one part of the board I can kind of see here, it's completely unpopulated. There's a few parts way down in there, but otherwise the parts are over here where I can't really see very well. I mean, what are the odds that this one would also be missing the option 5 board? That's not going to do me any good. Let's reconnect that. I mean, let's just assume it's there. I'm recalling, I do believe there is a test mode, so I showed you guys on the other scope how to go into a self-check mode. I believe there's a self-check mode just for this option board specifically that we can run through. Alright, so let's take a gander at the power supply board and see if any issues jump out at us with that. There's one thing I was curious about is since these caps look different, has somebody already gone in and recapped it. Let's see, date code 9243. My other one is from like, oh wait, I'm trying to think. No, I think my other one is about the same age, maybe 94. So it has been. If it had been recapped, I would expect the date codes to be in the 2010s or 2020 range, something like that. So yeah, this is very likely all original, but no obvious signs of anything linking or whatnot. One of the reefer caps. Looks like, you know, the reefer caps are still in there. Alrighty. Well, let me go read up a little bit on how the option board works, because I'd really like to demonstrate it to you guys, because that was one of the big motivators for me to get one of these guys. Now trust me, I will go through the scope and replace the reefer caps, replace any electrolytics in the power supply that looks suspect, and unsolder, back up, replace the Dallas non-volatile RAM chip. But for right here now, I want to demonstrate some things because, thanks to a friend who works and deals with vintage test equipment, he found somebody that had a copy of this fantastic Tektronix application note on how to use option 5. And it goes into great detail about the various components of the video signal and the odd and even frames and the front porch and the back porch and clamping levels and all that, and how you can check that stuff with this scope, with this option. I don't know everything, but I know something, so let me show you a bit what this can do that's better than a scope that doesn't have this option. So first off, I'm feeding in a composite video signal. Now you need to use channel 2 because that has a special mode on it. So I just fed that signal in and I pushed the auto button, which the 2465B has, which is nice, but sometimes for more complex waveforms like this, it's not quite sure what to do. So what does auto do? Automatically adjusts the vertical voltage per division scale and the time base to try to lock onto something useful for you. That doesn't look too useful, does it? No. Well, let's engage a few things. So, the coupling on channel 2, the top button has a little purple writing. It says TV clamp at AC. So I have AC coupling. If I push that, and now it says TVC up here, that will clamp your input signal to reference black level. Makes for a more stable display. Well, let's turn down our time base quite a bit. It's super bright, and there's a reason for that. Let me turn down the intensity for you. There we go. vision. Alright. So we're kind of seeing a better video signal, but occasionally it's losing sync as the image information changes and it gets a little bit jumbled. Well, if we look at the coupling mode, I'm in DC coupling for the sync. And there you have the usual options of high frequency, low frequency, AC. It's still not so great, right? But then there are 3 special modes. First one is lines. Bam! Rock solid lock. That's what option 5 does for you. It has a sync decoder chip that picks out these sync pulses and you lock on, and it is a wonderful thing. It's beautiful. There's our horizontal sync pulse, our color burst. I can zoom in on that. So there's our color burst, odd and even, so you get the overlapping the different phases. And there's 2 sync pulses and the video information in between. Beautiful, beautiful to look at. So that's the lines mode. And we have 2 more modes. It says field 1 and field 2. If I go down, it got really dim, and that's why I had the brightness turned up so high. What this is doing is it's picking out a single scan line of the 525 scan lines or so that there are. And because it's skipping so many lines, it gets a lot dimmer, so you have to turn the brightness up. I have it up all the way right now. So that is one individual scan line of the entire image. And there's a control on here. It has a little triangle above it. As I turn that, it's changing this number. I can change what scan line I want to see. So, why would you use this? One, you could look at closed caption info, I believe, but also, if you were looking at a test pattern on a set, and there was a particular area where you had smearing or ringing or it didn't look right, and it was like only in the middle of the screen, not the top or bottom, you could use this to dial in and look at those scan lines and look for abnormalities in the waveform. So that's just field 1. If I do field 2, now it does the opposite. So, as you know, or you should know, well, interlaced. It paints the odd lines, and then it paints the even lines. So you can do field 1, field 2, or you can do both. So this is field 1, this is actually both, and this is field 2. Now, it doesn't look a whole lot different to us because I'm just feeding in live programming, so of course it's changing all the time. But if you had a very specific type of test pattern, it'd be a little more meaningful. But those are the main things that this gets you. Rock solid lock onto the signal. I mean, that is just not moving. It is perfect. And the ability to look at individual scan lines, or just the odd lines, or just the even lines. So. Took me 3 tries, but I finally have a Tektronix 2465B with option 5 that seems to be working fully. Now, in this manual they also describe if you hold down 3 buttons, you can unlock some menu options. And there are 3 specific settings to do with this option board. And that has to do with some subtle parameters. One is where it's locking on the sync, you can do the rising or falling edge. That one is pretty straightforward. The others are how it interprets the fields, like is it the start of the sync pulse or a little bit delayed, the vertical sync pulse. Like, it gets a little fuzzy to me, but the point of some of those settings is we're always talking about NTSC, but there's PAL and there's other video encoding schemes that were used around the world. They wanted this to support all of them, so some of those advanced detailed settings in here would be for different video standards. But as it is right here, right now, yes, this is working. This is exactly what I wanted. Very happy to have it. You'll be seeing it used a lot more in future projects. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.